The truth of this world. What could it be?
寒い。そして作ったサムネがどっか行った。あった。ってことで今日は、あれです。溜まってるデートイベントを消化するっていう配信をやっていきます。まんまだね。
所詮1000人をすり抜けして引けなかった時代の敗北者、夏みかん、こんばんは。
あ、敗北者が来た。俺の未来かもしらん、それは。1000人すり抜けちゃったの。大変やで。それデイリーはもうやったんだ。デイリーやったからもうそこでデートイベントやっていいんだ。1000人引けなかったの。俺、これからなんだけど、すり抜け怖いな。今ね、3200だから40連分溜まってんのか。ちょっと、デートイベントやる前に験担ぎするか。こんばんは。1000人すり抜けたんだ。いや、でも、その分次は、あれよ。確定よ。よいしょ。あれだ、でも、リーユへ新マップ来たのすごい嬉しいよね。フォンテーヌとか、スメールとか、どんどん、新しめの方行っちゃったから、こう、古き良きマップっていうのが、なかなかね、見る機会がないから。よいしょ。今日はマップ探索とか多分やる余裕なくて、ずっとデートイベントやってる感じだろうけど、ね、マジでそろそろね、伝説任務とかを、ここどこだ片付けないといつまで経ってもやんないから、やっちゃおうっていうのが今日の配信なんだけど。まあ、あえてここで引くか。だって40連。この20連出てくれたら嬉しいな。いや、忘れてないか。あ、ノエル貫突した。10連やってキャラ1体とかザラだからな。いや、まあ、そうそう出ないよな。あ、祭礼の弓。あ、またノエル来た。どうしよっかな。今、なんでな、全然ガチャ進んでないっていうか、思い出した。すり抜けたんだ、俺も。前の、ガチャ、すり抜けてたんだ。
所詮1000人をすり抜けして引けなかった時代の敗北者、夏みかん、リオセスリア、リルック、私の炎元素関運が友達と一緒に使って楽しかったです。
炎元素関運か。あ、新しい子来た。この子なんかすごいビジュアル尖ってるっていう話聞いた。あ、もみあげ借 刈り上げある。かっこいいね。まあ、全部引いちゃうか。来ない。あ、ガミ一突した。来ないね。まあ、そりゃ来ないか。結構、あれなんだよな。天井コースが多いんだよな、最近ガチャ。
所詮1000人をすり抜けして引けなかった時代の敗北者、夏みかん、落下攻撃主軸の星4ですね。
だね。この子、なんか眉にピアスつけてるっていう話聞いて、結構珍しいビジュアルだなって思った。あとノエルだ。なんか公式の MMD モデルが配布されてるんだけどさ、フォンテーヌじゃなくて新しいキャラ。それ確認したらなんか眉ピアスつけてるって話題になってた。ノエル貫突だ。スター交換ってできなくはないだろうけど、ここら辺とアチーブはもうあれなんだよ。荒滝用に取ってあるから使えないんだよな。いやでもまあ期間ギリギリでちょっと足りなさそうだったらまあ普通にやっちゃうけど。じゃあせっかく引いたからガミン連れてっか。
Is there time to sneak in some dim sum
あ、
first?
これかっこいいな。あとなんか誰か連れてきたいな。普段使わないキャラ。
All right, team, let's move it out.
普段使わないキャラ、どうせ今日イベントメインだしな。イベントはあんまりしないだろうから、普段使わないキャラを使ってこう。
I will lead us to victory.
あ、ほら、武器変えてなかった。武器とあれなんでな、生物何がいいんだろう。武器何あるかな。アクオーマルでいいか。
所詮1000人をすり抜けして引けなかった時代の敗北者、夏みかん。まあ1000人すり抜けたんで私時間を狙おうかと思います。
そっか、関羽いいね。突したいね。で、今日はデート任務やるんで、まだやってないの。だから北斗、雲金、行幸やったね。忍、平蔵、ファルサン、レイラ、カーベ。カーベ進行中だから先カーベやるか。カーベ、カーベどこにいるんだ。これじゃないな。カーベの任務どれだ。メロピレ要塞についてダルシー。これは違う。これ違う。あれ？進行中。まあ、とりあえずスメール行けばいいか。でもどこにいるか分かんなかったら一旦違う人始めよう。まあ、多分どっかにいるだろう、カーベ。 なんか確かデートイベントフラグ触っちゃって、なんか話してるのを見た後にカフェ行って、カフェでおごってもらっての後なんだよな。いや、こっから次カーベどこにいるか探さないといけないのか。これは、これかな？これだ。あったあった。俺も突したいな。突したいってか、武器欲しい。アモスの弓。次復刻来たらあれだな。てか、そっか、スキン買ったから、普通にでいいか。スキン買いました。
Time to begin work?
これも普通でいいか。
Nearer to the action is closer to the truth.
スキンね、可愛いよね。ただ俺神格持ってないから神格のスキンは買う予定ないけど。ここも 100% だよな。
所詮1000人をすり抜けして引けなかった時代の敗北者、夏みかん、アモスの弓工場でも出るので私は工場で狙おうかと思います。
工場か。このパーティー、全くシナジーがないな。そもそもあれだ。
Forget about me. Just go.
ガミン君育成してない。
Next on the agenda.
工場でさ、狙った武器出すのむずくない？普通にパーティー組もうな。
The threads of your fate lie in my hands.
At your command.
これはまあ普通でパーティー組むか。
Next time, be sure to make a proper appointment.
育成途中のキャラやっぱり
Perhaps whoever left these
あれ
behind.
だね。戦闘手こずるね。アモスの弓欲しいんだけどさ、工場をすり抜け、違うな、星5全然当たんないから。そもそも武器が出てきてくんないっていう。工場ガチャこそ武器出てきてほしいんだけどね。荒上さん。
Ah, CROWK, it's you! It's been a while. What have you been up to recently?
Yeah, it's been a long time, Alkami. Things haven't changed much for me. I'm still taking private commissions for all kinds of projects.
I heard that you were the genius behind the Palace of Alcazazare. I bet you're all set for Mora after a project of that
いや、
size.
なんか、天空シリーズは
Well, it's hard to make a
買え
profit
るよう
from
になるってか、
every
買う
project,
イ
you
ベントが
know?
ある
Hard
みたい
to
な
make
の
a
は
profit?
噂で聞いたことあるけど。
You've got to be joking. I've never met an
どうなんだろ
architect
う
who
な。
didn't make a profit from a project. Unless the client fled before they paid the commission fee in full. But that doesn't sound right either. Doesn't Dory have a pretty decent reputation in our local business circles? I don't think she's ever been involved in any kind of...
Well, about that. I mean, it was
こ
complicated.
いちだな。
I understand. I mean, I obviously never had... Not judging from the look on your face. You're still... With that said, us Kasharo...
Are you serious? But something like that has got to be some kind of top-level business secret. Are you sure you can just share something like that with me?
申し訳ないけど、飛ばし
Besides,
飛ばしで
I don't want to just
Yeah,
take something like that without offering anything
今
in
日なんか
return.
データ相手が多
I
いから
still have a
な。
little Mora.
Oh, you're too compared to the classes taught by those old fossils. Unlike the academe, it just so happened, regardless of the pay.
Ah, so you want me to join you as an instructor? That does sound like something I'd be
さ
able to
カーベ
do.
さ弾けてないんだよな。
Sounds like a pretty stable job, too. What do you
カ
think,
ーベ弾
Traveler?
きたい。
Then it's a deal.
Yes, it's a deal.
Oh, like I said, there's no need to thank me for this. As for the pay,
300,000? Are you...
it would seem that you're still oblivious to your own economic worth. 300,000 is also just the base rate. I have to go make some preparations now.
I was never particularly close with Alkami when we were in
なん
school.
かすっごい裏あり
Who
そ
would
う
have。thought that he'd be so not? I've hosted free lectures before, but this would be my first time being hired to lecture for a formal business. 300,000 mora per lecture. Whew. I'm so excited that I'm starting to get nervous. Thanks so much. I think I will be able to relax a bit more with a friend in the audience. Now, what should I talk about tomorrow? Some lessons I've learned over the past... All right, let's meet here again tomorrow morning.
7時以降、時間を。あ。でさ、最近スターレールの配信もちょこちょこやってるんだけどさ、コメントでめちゃくちゃネタバレされるようになって、どうしたもんかってなってんだけど、ネタバレ込みで頑張って楽しむか、なるべく避けていくか。近いな。
I was up last night preparing for the lecture, but I ended up getting so excited that I couldn't fall asleep. Here, I've prepared a lesson plan. Do you want to take a look?
Lesson plan? I must commend you for your... But the training center has already developed its own set of teaching materials. Sure. It's almost time for the lecture to start.
Huh. So you've already developed your own... There's something else I want...
No need to stress. There are 14 classes at my training center.
20 people, huh?
Oh, and one last thing. I'm sorry to say this, but your friend will have to wait.
Sorry about that.
疑われてる。
Hey there. Can I help you? Oh, Alkami? I heard he earned a fortune where the tuition wasn't sky high.
すごい怪しい商売してそう。
Did you hear?
I bet that
Really makes you jealous, eh? If you think about...
that's true, but you've got to admit, for those who can't pass the exam,
Man.
All right, everyone. Class is over, so we can just chat for a bit.
No, you weren't scary at all, Mr.
Oh, don't get me started. Alkami may fool an amateur, but he can't fool anyone who's active in our profession. In my opinion, the most important skill of an architect is their ability to craft a design. In other words, they must be able to conceptualize ideas. There are tens of thousands of buildings in the world, as well as a countless number of architectural styles. Some designs emphasize aesthetics, while others prioritize practicality. The architects who can critically evaluate the quality and
デ
fit
ザ
of
イナ
different
ーを
designs
育成
are
するん
those
じ
who
ゃな
can
くて、
come
もう
up with
塾
great
で金
designs
取
of
ること
their
が
own.
目的だから、
But you won't get any of that from the teaching materials they're using
中身は
here.
どうでもいいってや
All
つだっ
these
たんだろう
students are
な。
doing in class is rote memorization of existing designs. They are learning nothing about the underlying principles. How can they expect to become real architects? When they're done with this class, all they'll become are dilettantes with a...
But Mr. Kave, we didn't really understand anything you said after you threw away the materials either. What's the big deal anyway? It's not like we're looking to make some works of art.
それはそう。
We just want to make some mora.
You're studying architecture to make mora?
Yeah. Why else would we be studying here? My biggest dream is to become someone like Mr. Alkami. Once I finally make my fortune in architecture, I'll be able to buy anything I like.
Huh. In that case, I'm afraid you'll probably be disappointed. The reality is that the work of an architect is very difficult, and the pay is not lucrative at all. Believe me, I'm a perfect example.
But how? Mr. Alkami just told us last night that you made a killing by building the Palace of Alcazarzare. He also said that as long as we graduate from his class, waves upon waves of people will reach out to us with private commissions, and it won't be long before...
典型的な怪しいセミナーみたいになってるじゃん。
You all believed everything he said?
But,
You... It's pointless trying to argue this with you right now. You've already filled your heads with pipe dreams. Let's go, traveler.
Get in gear! What's wrong, Kave? Were the students not...
Yeah, I'm mad at them. But I'm even more... The students are all here hoping for a quick way to make money. But we both know that an architect's life is hard and exhausting. Just a little while ago, I was toiling over the 6th draft of a design for a client. If your client is unhappy, you can't break ground. And the longer a project goes, the longer it takes for you to get paid in full.
めちゃくちゃ
You
苦労
know
してるん
all
です
of
か？
this just as well as I do. Why lie to them?
Look, Kave, you may be the light of Ksharawar, but like I said, you still have a lot to learn about making Mora. You may deny it all you want, but it's a fact that in today's Sumeru, architecture is a terrible profession. Our clients care very little for the effort we pour into our designs. Instead of appreciating us, they spend all their time nitpicking details and demanding changes, often forcing all kinds of ridiculous ideas onto us.
I suppose that's more or less true.
Why should we cling on to a profession that's different if it's near impossible to make money?
Wait, how does that make any sense? Aren't you just leading them into the same trap?
We are already stuck, my friend. That's right. Making money, none of the students will ever know. The more students I get.
And then what? Once they graduate, they'll still find out the truth about architecture and struggle to stay afloat amid all the problems we already talked. When that happens, your facade will pop like a soap bubble. No one will believe you anymore.
Ah, but that's just one way to look at the problem. No two people have the same amount of talent, even if they fail to strike gold in the future. Oh, and also, I'm not even scared if they do.
How can you sleep at night knowing that you're doing all this? Tell me, is your heart carved out of brick and stone? I can't believe that I once saw you as a decent human being. I am beyond disappointed in you.
And the same goes to you. How many years has it been since you graduated from the academia? If you still... Only fools will see... I urge you to... As the light of the... Think it over, Kave.
I'm so mad, I feel a headache coming on. There's nothing more... Of course. I'm sure you've realized that as long as I remained at this center, he would be... He is right about one thing, though. The most that they could accuse him of is false advertising. Oh? Did you notice something else? Yeah. The rate he gave me was 300,000 mora per lecture. That probably came out of the... If you're gambling everything on making it rich as an architect, are you really going to have the mora to pay for that kind... Right. We should hurry. We're never going to get any information...
今どんな感じで分岐してるんだろう。
Oh, Mr. Kave? What are you doing?
Class finished a while ago.
I wanted to stay for a little longer. I'm still thinking about everything you taught during the class. Even though a lot of it went right over my...
Of course they were. All the examples I drew were world-famous landmarks. It's a good thing that you could recognize them for their beauty. The accumulation of knowledge is the first step to artistic expression. Instead of rote memorization, you should try to relate and to understand. And after that, try to resonate with the work.
Resonate?
Yes. When I first got into architecture, there were many things about it that I couldn't understand at all. I would find a building to be beautiful, but have no idea what made it so good. And for most people, just being able to admire a building is enough. To become a good architect, however, you must also learn to assess and appraise. Going from admiration to assessment will take a lot of time and specialized knowledge, and I'm afraid that some superficial speed training won't be enough to take you there.
Just as I thought. Becoming an architect won't be as easy as Mr. Alkami made it out to be.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to crush your dreams. All I want to tell you is that an architect's life is not as carefree and easy as others may make it out to be.
I understand. Thank you for telling me the truth, Mr. Kave. I think...
Paid off what?
Sorry. I can't say anything more. Mr. Alkami made it very clear that anyone who talks about...
Don't listen to him. I am the most famous architect in Sumeru. Why would I pull your leg? I can see you have some talent. So as long as you get your fundamentals down, you should be able to pass the entrance exam.
Then please keep this a secret for me, Mr. Cop. Mr. Alkami was the one who reached out to my parents. He told them I knew a merchant by the name. He told all the students that once...
How?
I think...
And what was the...
I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I have a... We need to find that merchant to confirm. Good idea.
We last saw him on the North Shore.
Well, it's still be worth... We need to do something.
こりゃひどい。あっちか。微妙に遠いな。
Witness my magnificence!
便利だね。
Strike a pose!
ああ、すごい勢いで攻撃してる。なんで？なんか釣り竿を買うことではなんかもらえるアチーブメントあったの？交換できるな。素材足りないな。全然足りなかった。あ、荒滝が復刻したらアチーブメント集めしないといけないから、それもやんないとな。
Shower me with praise!
法律家です。
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen you guys before.
You're
Yes.
Alkami. My friend here wants to enroll in his architecture class, but they're a bit short on money. Alkami told us you're the man to go to in this kind of situation.
Oh, sounds like his business is booming.
Let me see.
Oof, you call that a bit short on money? Anyway, since you're here because of Alkami, here you go.
And what if they won't?
What do you mean won't be able to pay it back? Once you graduate from Alkami's place, you'll be... And even if you were to run into some difficulties and need to delay the installment, it's hard work running a business. Anyway, there's no point in tying yourself in knots over the contract with...
I just did some calculations in my head. When you say the interest will get a little higher, do you mean it'll get higher than 30%? Of course, the contract did a great job of trying to obfuscate that fact. It only listed the amount that you'll have to repay every day, which gives the false impression that the amount hasn't actually increased by all that much. If you actually do the math, however, it's clear that the amount you need to pay on interest alone will amount to hundreds of thousands of mora per year. Most people can't even make that much mora in a year. Your greed really knows no bounds. Even my creditor doesn't dare to raise rates that high. Once a family's signed on to a scheme like this, there's no getting out.
What are you trying to say, huh? I figured something was off when two well-dressed people came looking for a loan. Too many people are sticking their noses where they...
Eremites? I've already fought off more than there are only a few of them.
あ、カービィお試しで使えるんだ。
Time to shine! Yoo-hoo! Shadow Raven! Motion to compel! Yatcha!
あ、終わった。
Who are you and what do you want?
夢女子みたいな画
I
面にな
don't
った。
think we've done anything to hurt or
乙
offend
女
you.
ゲーみたいな画面
So
になっ
why
てる。
go this far to destroy my livelihood?
Debt has the power to upend your whole life. But my debts are the culmination of many different factors. But these students are different. You sold the dreams of becoming an architect to the students as bait.
Ha! Everyone knows there's... And if we're going to talk about greed, aren't those students the one...
Ha! People grow by learning from their mistakes. Let's head back to the academia and turn this guy over.
デートイベントとはっていう感じの内容になってんな。で、これの後に平蔵行ったら、
Didn't think I would run into you.
My vacation just ended not too long ago.
デート感が
So
皆
I'm
無に
going
なって
over
しま
some
う。
cases at the academia. Who's this? I see. Charging an interest rate over 30% indeed constitutes a crime. As it is highly likely that Alkami is also benefiting from this scheme, the Matra will open an investigation on him as well. The training center will be closed until further notice. Any funds we manage to recover from the suspects will be returned to the students. It's unclear how much we'll be able to get back, however.
That should still be enough. Once the students realize the error of their ways, they won't fall so easily for such traps in the future. Anyway, thank you.
It's no trouble. Just another day at work. How did you two get tangled up in this anyway? Did you accept any mora from him?
He promised to pay me 300,000 mora per lecture, but I resigned as soon as I finished the first session. I didn't take a single coin.
Ah, that's good.
What do you mean, that's good? Would you have taken me into custody as well if I had actually accepted any mora?
I wouldn't have gone that far. But, had he insisted that you were also an active participant in his schemes, under our rules, we would have been required to open an investigation on you as well. Either way, though, I believe you are innocent in all of this. Had you actually been alright with making money through less than noble means, your life wouldn't be the mess it currently is.
Hey, what was that? What do you mean my life is a mess?
Never mind. Your life is fine.
You're just messing with me now, aren't you?
Let's get back to business. If Alkami's case can be successfully resolved, you'll be eligible for a monetary reward from the academia.
Huh. I didn't even know there was such a thing.
The reward will be given regardless of your personal motivations. It was implemented with the intent of encouraging people to supply tips to the Matra.
Fine.
一気に回復した。
Is there anything else?
I want to go back to the training center one more time and talk to some of the kids.
Sure, but you should wait until tomorrow. My subordinates will shut down the center today and summon the students to gather information on the total amount of mora they've lost in the scam.
All right, then I'll stay out of their way. I can talk to the kids tomorrow.
I have a few other things to take care of, so I'll be off for now. If you want to follow up on this case, just come find me again.
That should finally be the end of that. Oh, who would have thought it would turn out like this? All I wanted was to find a new gig and earn some mora. To think Alkami would sink this low, it still makes me really upset. Still, I think I feel a little better now than when you found me. It's a little ironic, but you could say it's because I've realized that there are many circumstances in the world that are even worse than my own. Now that I've seen such things firsthand, I suppose I've earned a new sense of appreciation for my life. How should I put it? The arguments are usually extremely frustrating, And every once in a while, I'd wonder if I only became an architect because fate wanted me to pay for some sins I'd committed in a previous life. Alkami's suggestion would have allowed me to quit my life as an architect and earn money solely from my reputation. But now that I've experienced that for myself, I can confidently say that I'd never want to do it again. Every scholar has their own sense of pride. Just speaking for myself, though, I don't think that's something I'd ever be able to do. If I stopped devoting everything, at that point, any materialistic ease I may have gained in life would just become... I appreciate it. You may call me conceited for this, but I would also like to think I'm talented enough to be able to lead a decent life without compromising my pride. It's certainly not easy. My thanks again for being such a great help throughout all of this. I'm planning to pay another visit to those kids tomorrow. All right, I'll...
デートイベント確か結構なんかルートあったよな。一人のキャラ回収するだけでなんか1時間とか経ちそうなんだけど終わるかなこれ。全キャラ終わらせようかなと思ったけど多分これ普通に無理だな。頑張って2、3キャラやってくか。とりあえずスメール組中心でやって、サムネイルがレイラとファルトなんだから。で、いけそうだったら平蔵とかもやっちゃう。
The
training center has been shut down, and the Macher have promised to return some of our tuition. But we've already spent so much time on this class. What should we do next?
Mr. Kave said we can keep working on our fundamentals and try to get into the academia.
キャラのキャラ結構長いよデートイベント。
What reason does...
So, now that's Mr. Kave to you. I'm here as your instructor, so let's keep things a little more proper. I'll keep instructing you for a while longer. You can pass on the message to the other students. As long as someone wants to come, they can join the class. Oh, also, I'm usually pretty busy, so I'll only be able to teach architecture fundamentals on my days off. Architecture is not an easy profession. If you want to design safe buildings, and just as a heads up, all of this will be a huge step up from the superficial stuff you were learning before. It'll take both talent and perseverance to get through the course.
We'll try our...
It seems some of you are. All right, everyone, pack your stuff up. No need to prepare much for today. You'll know once we get there.
一応アチーブメントとあれなんでな、石ちょっと石もらえたっけな。素材もらえるからやっといて損はないけど。でも好きなキャラだけでもやるのもいいんじゃないかな。伝説ニームと合わせるとマジでボリュームがすごいからな、デートイベント。あとさ、解答祭と新マップやる前にカウンのあれだ、伝説ニームやんないとな。
所詮1000人をすり抜けして引けなかった時代の敗北者、夏みかん。そう言われたらまだもしかしたら関運狙えるかもしれない。
まだ間に合うかもしれない。まだ10日ある。10日あるってことは、最低10回ガチャは引けるってわけよ。
And I handled its renovations when I first graduated from the academia. The point of today is not so much about the lighthouse as a building, however. I just want you to take a look at it and do a bit of self-reflection. If you were tasked today with designing a building, how would you want it to look like? Don't think about how you'd actually go about building it for now. Just put your ideas to...
So...
Yep, as long as you think it'd look good. It doesn't even necessarily. In my experience, it's both the study and practice of architectural design are so at least for today. I hope this. What do you think? Want to try your hand at it as well? Don't forget that this is a.
すぐなんだそれって顔してる。デートイベントを振り返る。なるほどね。いちいちなんか任務画面に戻んなくてもパッと戻りやすいようになってんだ。
Being too popular can be such a hassle. Who knew the people?
デートイベントちょっとやりやすくなってるね。意外となんか結構アップデート入ってるんだね。アップデート入ってるといえば魔人任務とかこう伝説任務とかやっとくとデイリーが免除できるあれがあるっていうのを最近知った。冒険の書でなんかデイリーいちいちやんなくてもそれをスキップして報酬もらえるよみたいなのがあるっていうのを。
Taking this commission was truly the worst decision ever. Actually, while we're on that, what are you doing here at the tavern? Don't listen to anyone who says that drinking is an elegant pastime. So you saw all that, did you? I thought... Anyway, stress is just an inescapable part of being a working adult. Boss, I'll have a glass of wine. Same as last time. Do you want something too? I'll put it on my tab.
Wine in a glass of juice? Coming.
I know you're already keeping a secret from me, but if you could add this one to the... That guy, though. Another glass, please.
You've got it, sir.
It really is every other day that you'd run into a... But perhaps getting used to this just... I would spend a lot of time... I suppose, though, that all of this makes for...
Here's your drink.
Boss?
The meaning of art. Really, my friend, who in Sumeru understands art better than you? Anyway, I don't...
What do you think?
ここで分岐するのか。
Yes, art. Let's say that I built a house. The problem is that it... He understands nothing about my design. And all the suggestions he made were as if... You mean... Time to get going. There's no time to waste.
おー。いやでもこれカーベだけで1時間超えるな、配信時間。もう今日休みだから全然いいけどさ。遠い。どうせ今日は原神とスターレールの普段進められてないやつどんどん進めて、で深夜あたりにガラージュやりたいなと思ってるけど、やれるかな？
What are you doing here?
I've changed my mind. I was overreacting earlier. Can we try discussing the project some more?
My apologies as well. Now that I think about it, if I choose you to...
Thank you for understanding. To be perfectly honest, your commission request has been the most peculiar one I've ever received. Even now, I still know nothing about the building's intended purpose. All I know is that you want to build something in the desert for public use. I am aware that overly specific requests will restrain the architect's artistic freedom. How I've produced several draft proposals for you to choose from.
Yes, I've given this some thought already. I think it's just... Putting the building design aside, the timber here as well.
Please give me a moment. So, let me get this straight. Architectural design cannot be neatly split into discrete parts. Any change to one part of the design will affect the quality of the whole thing. I decided to utilize high-end timber for this section because the weight-bearing structure requires the supporting materials to be durable and strong. Same with the tiles. Switch them out and the entire mural will have to be redesigned. More important, if all you need is a building with a roof that can keep people dry in the rain...
Actually,
I think the most important thing for me is to understand what you would actually...
I want to build something unique. I want all who
That's a bit more information. We've gone through many proposals, and this draft is already...
Thank you. Forgive. I still have a few business meetings that I must attend, so...
I also have a similar feeling. Is that really okay? I mean, what he does now is none of our business. He does seem really suspicious, though. That's actually pretty common. The more Mora some people have, the more they love it. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm not even sure. Who knows how long construct...
旅人が後をつけるって感じか。
Shower me with praise!
Huh? Where did he go? I could have sworn he went this way. Let's keep looking. Oh, hey, look! Isn't
Didn't I tell you before? I'm not looking for more workers. Plus, aren't you a bit old for...
Oh, you won't have to worry about that. I grew up as an eremite. I don't have many talents, but I still have...
You used to be a...
I know there are a lot of bad apples in our ranks, but...
I'm sorry, but I still can't take you in.
Okay.
He used to be a member of the Eremites? Huh.
こっちはこっちで話が見えなくなってきたな。
We meet again.
Huh?
That's what we wanted to ask you. Who are you? There's no need for us to continue this project if you still want to keep...
Believe me, I didn't have... All right, there's no point hiding anything anymore.
A library? Funded entirely by yourself. I've heard that the academia will be looking to prioritize the desert with the
You're right. And I was aware of these happenings as well. The desert is too vast. Even if the academia spends a lot of effort trying to disseminate knowledge in those parts. And what's more, I don't know if the academia would ever reverse its stance in the future. All I know is that as a desert dweller, we should not wait passively for good things to happen to us. I don't have much longer left on this world, so I just want to use whatever time I have to contribute something to my homeland. I didn't want you to know that I came from the desert.
To the point that you even disguised your identity?
When I first came to Sumerus, someone agreed to take on the... After that, I heard that there are a lot of I spent a while collecting information in the city. By the way, how did you...
Just a hunch. A while ago, I ran into someone who was living in a pretty He said that he had no way to pay for it, so I loaned him some of my own Mora, and told him, and after that, he even borrowed Mora from me twice more. According to him, I looked like an easy target because...
Those kinds of things do happen every once in a while.
It's all right. Ultimately, neither of our experiences... Yeah, you'll find... Anyway, I digress. Let's return to the topic at hand.
That's what I was afraid of initially. Yes. I've done the math and know that we should be able to make it. If so, I decided to try and...
By cobbled together, you mean you're going to...
To be honest, I haven't really thought about... All I want is to build this library. A while ago, I heard that the academia had decided to recruit a number of exceptional children from the desert. I know the desert, so even if the academia would take them in...
Yeah, my father passed away at an early age. Even though I had a good number, I'm sure a child... But let's bring this back to the building itself. Building it according to the current plan will be quite costly.
他の商人からどっちだろうこれ。
sponsor the project. That does make sense. What do you think? If
It's all fine with me.
Well, you're right. Her? Her? Now let's go and pay her.
今俺が食べてる世界任務とか、どれくらいもらえるかな？これ50もらえる、60もらえる、これ40、30、30、これはもらえない。あ、でもこうしてみると、世界任務ちょっとやるだけで、パッと稼げそうだな。あとそれか、関羽引くつもりだったら新マップもガッと探索しないと、石のあれが間に合わないな。どうしようかな。どっかのタイミングで新マップを思いっきり探索する配信をやるか。明日はちょっと動画収録したいからできないけど。やるとしたら今日の深夜とか、月曜日とかになるかな。
Oh, now here are some unexpected guests. What brings you to the palace of Alcazar's-Ray? When I saw Kaveh, I almost thought it must be that time of month again. Sadly for me, I must wait a few more days before I can collect my shiny Mora.
Hey, can't you think of something else for a change? You are literally living in an objet d'art, and yet your mind is still fixated on nothing but Mora? What is the point of wealth, anyway? Is your happiness entirely dependent on your hoard of cold, emotionless Mora?
That's exactly right. Mora is extremely valuable, you see. If you don't keep your mind on it, your Mora may just find its way to somebody else's pockets. If you ask me, this place is still way too empty. Just give me some time and I'll fill it to the brim with lots and lots of
現実でも結構
Mora.
なんかお金貯めることが目的になってる人とか結構いるってな。
Oh, so you have an actual reason to visit me? Merchants. Oh, I see. So you're just looking for someone to help you fit the...
I knew you wouldn't be interested in something like this.
Sure, I can connect...
A fee?
Of course! Making introductions, since we've known each other for so long...
500,000? I guess that's okay. Besides, by helping us out, you'd be doing a great service to the public.
Very well. Since you're so passionate about this project, I'll help you out and waive the introduction fees.
50万もら払うつもりでいたってのが
My
すげえな
business
カー
partners
テ
came by earlier today to discuss some things with me, and they still haven't left yet. I'll arrange a meeting for you.
Thank you so much.
You can wait here. I'll bring them over to you.
Dory gave us a brief introduction about the two of you. To be frank, I don't feel...
All right, here's the situation. I've been
So it's...
Correct.
Then the commission fees will likely be very low.
I'm not too concerned about how much I'll get for the commission fees, actually.
So what? Besides, what does a library in the...
Hey, there's no need to be so harsh. They are Dory's associates, after all. So we'd most...
Well, just speaking for myself,
I also have a concern. It feels like there's not much to profit from in the short term. But in the long term, the reputation gain also doesn't sound like...
Then how about this? What if, instead of building a single library, we commit to an entire complex of buildings dedicated to culture and education?
Wouldn't that just cost more?
Yes. But in that case...
I'll just give an example. If we were to build a library and a school near Aru Village, then the desert dwellers would gradually begin to migrate towards the area. A whole suite of buildings will be able to host more traffic, and thus drive the economic development of the entire area. In turn, that would lead to direct business opportunities. I've been to the desert several times. Although there are still many lingering tensions between the two regions, the amount of interaction has been steadily increasing, and in the long term, the desert will only become more and more important to Sumeru.
まっとうに PR してる。
You do have a point.
Education in the desert is indeed an industry that has not been tapped into. If we can be the first to place stakes in the area.
And you just believe anything he tells you?
Even the greenest amateurs know that urban planning will
You!
Hey, why are you starting to sound like I'll hate them?
Wait, something just occurred to me. But it seems we're not the only ones with our eyes on...
What?
What?
In other words, if we try to join the fray now, there won't be much left for us. If we want to build a suite of buildings focused on education and culture, Aru...
Then there's no hurry. We can wait for Aruville.
Is there nothing else to discuss? Great time!
I'll be off as well. If you have any...
It seems like the others are not interested in funding this, so...
Hey! Well, what can I say? Yeah, it's just another day. Looks like we'll have to figure...
How did the meeting go? Want to talk about it? Oh, where did all that passion go from earlier,
Please don't tell me...
What kind of person do you take me for? Would the kind and generous Lord Sangama Bay really do such a thing? I will. You can try to talk up the project all you want, but the facts will remain the same.
But this isn't just... Also, if you already knew no one would want to partner with us, why did you still try to charge me 500,000 mora?
You might want to remember who your creditor is before you start talking like that, Kaveh.
I'll pay back every last coin that I still owe you, but that's a completely different matter.
All right, since you're so devastated about... In fact, I'll be invited...
What? So...
Follow me.
ちゃんとついてきてる。
This is the place.
You said you're going to introduce us to the most famous merchant in Sumeru.
You still don't get it, huh? The most famous merchant in Sumeru.
Huh? So you meant yourself all along? Then why did you bring us here?
Well, I've given it some thought, and it'll be a pretty big Mora sink.
Seriously? Where's this generosity coming from so suddenly? Are you trying to scam me again?
The reasons are not important. What's important, however, you know just as well as me that once this project...
I get it. I won't charge any commission fees, and I'll take responsibility for the entire...
Splendid! Then
This way, the children of the desert will have some books to read. Of course, there are a few things better than using my
前の
knowledge
シ
to
ナリオ
help
もそう
other
だけど、
people change
カービ
their
めちゃくちゃ身を削る
fates.
な。
I must thank you as well, Dory. I used to say you only cared about Mora, which now, let's have a quick discussion.
there's no rush. I'll provide you with a copy of the deed.
Huh? The deed? So hold on a sec.
Oh my, did I not tell you about that? Yep, so from my perspective...
But what about my commission fees?
Huh? Didn't you waive those yourself? But before I could finish my sentence, you volunteered to waive your commission.
It's obvious that you used every...
Huh? You really think so? Well,
Fine. I'll drop the argument on the commission fees. I'm going to order the best dishes and booze this place has to offer.
I wonder if I'll ever be able to create something so incredible.
ああ。ここ分岐するんだ。あ、そっかそっか。 商人説得ルートとデザイン変更ルートがあったから、デザイン変更ルートか、次は。
We meet again.
Huh?
That's what we want. There's no need.
Believe me, I didn't. Or
a library? I've heard that the
You're right. The desert is too. And what's more, all I know is I don't have much longer left on this. I didn't want you to know
to the point that you.
When I first, someone agreed to. After that, I spent a while. By the way,
just a hunch. I ran into someone. He said that he had, and after that, he, according to him,
those kinds of.
It's ultimately neither of our experience. Yeah. Anyway,
That's what I was. I've done the math. So, to be honest, all I want is to build this life. A while ago, I know the desert. So even if
my father passed, I'm sure a child. But let's bring building it
で、こっちか。
A slightly different style. Most architects would probably prioritize cutting costs and removing extra features in this situation. Indeed, converting the building into a simple bungalow would solve most of our problems. However, I do not think this would be the best solution. While it's true that the aesthetic value of a building is often viewed as an afterthought, neglecting it has some long-term negative consequences. It is especially undesirable in this situation, as to completely give up on the more aesthetic design would mean stripping the children of an opportunity to appreciate the beauty of architecture. I share Badawi's sentiments in wanting to preserve a more complex design. However, if we can reduce the ornate aspects of the design while maintaining its fundamental elegance, to make up for the loss of regular details, we would need to put a lot of extra effort into the layout, lines, and color.
I see.
It just increases the difficulty of the design. As for inspiration, I think I might have...
Aru Village. Although...
Okay, then we...
Is there something I can do for you?
Let me think. You said we want to keep the roads clear, and...
All right, just...
What are you waiting for, then?
こっちでは戦闘あるルートか。ロードが長い。ロードが長いし、これ、カーブだけで終わりそう、配信。
Most materials going from Caravan Ribat to Aru Village. There are a lot of monsters out here today.
Oh, don't worry about me.
Born of ice and frost.
Sight clear. Ha! Kya! Ta!
所詮1000人をすり抜けして引けなかった時代の敗北者、夏美さん。時間かかるけどデートイベント報酬が美味しいからやるしかない。
そう、デートイベント報酬がめちゃくちゃ美味しいからやるしかない。
Is there someone you...
店舗本の報酬があるのが一番でかいね。
Realize most of my life story is I joined the Eremites when I was young, if at all possible.
I think it's really maybe he's doing this out of natural kindness.
にルートが2つあるっていう感じだから。
My situation, when I was young, he set off confidently. I never saw him again. I started doing many things in life because I wanted to make this. I've tried self-reflection, but it didn't help. Maybe it's just like I could be doing things out of endless... Anyway, I've known Al-Haytham for many years now. He told me a long time ago that no matter... I still believe I should... Unfortunately, as you can see... And
普段からやっていくべきだったな、デートイベント。ちょこちょこ。
Oh, please. It's not like we're actually talking about swimming. Either way, I'm feeling much better. All right.
R 村。どっちだ？こっちか。キャラがさ、どんどん増えるからさ、素材の確保つかないよな。そしてこういう時に関羽いたら、色が便利なんだろうな。ワープポイントここあったしな。
所詮1000人をすり抜けして引けなかった時代の敗北者、夏みかん、スメールの探索だと関運楽しそう。
高低差がある建物とか多いから、関運楽だろうね。
Now that we're here, it's my partner's time to shine.
待って待って、後ろに挑戦ある。
Oh, what's this?
My toolbox. I built it using an ancient mechanical core. It's not too smart, but it's super useful and can help me with a variety of tasks. I'll take Marak and find a suitable location for the building. Once that is done...
Traveler?
ちょっと、メラックが頑張ってる間に挑戦やってきていい？
Hello. I suppose you must be...
Educational assistant...
I can't say...
I've been commissioned by Mr. Badawi to build a library in the desert.
A library?
That's right.
That's fantastic. I'm sure the children will be...
Let me get straight to my questions, then. Can you estimate the number of... Oh, and have any landslide... All right, Badawi, let's go over the budget again. The parts of the project that cost the most will be the insulation and ventilation. I want to make significant changes to the arrangement of the bookshelves, tables. Our final cost should be around 70% of the Marak has produced a sketch for all of you to see. The inspiration just came to me. I must give you credit, though. According to the traditions of my profession, I should... In the meantime, let's look...
Oh. 一旦これちょっと閉じてあれやりに行きましょうか。確か R 村 100% にしてたよな、俺でも。なってるね。
The wind rises.
気のせいだった。こんな分かりやすくやり残してることある？
Too slow.
早速1個取り逃したね。
Behold! Quit following me.
Okay.
Take it and have fun.
Huh. 挑戦はあとどれくらい残ってるんだろ
う。Quit following me. Squall and Fury.
あ、取れなかった。
Too slow.
で、あと真ん中の2ルートか。 図書館建てるルート以外だと何やるんだろう。
Quit following me. Taking this commission was truly the worst decision. Actually, while we're on that, what are you doing? Stress is just an inescapable part of being a working adult. Boss, do you want something too? I'll put it on my tab.
Wine in a glass of...
デートイベントの時パイもいないんだな。
I know you're already keeping a secret. That guy, Another glass.
You've got it.
It really is. But perhaps I would spend a lot of... I suppose, though, all of this makes...
Here's your drink.
Boss?
The meaning of... Anyway, I don't...
What do you... No worries. It's been bothering me for a... Sounds great to me. Huh? Where did that come from? I mean, my mother is also an architect. Perhaps. In fact, I have also seen my mother. Unfortunately, I've barely had any contact with her since I did remember something else, though. At the time, she even told me that it would be... I hadn't quite come to grips with my emotion. It's been a really long time. Sorry. Either way, thanks for reminding me that I can invite you to come along. Thinking too hard about the words is giving me a headache. So I'll just give it to you. If you want to stick around and see how this will turn out, all right, then... Who knew that the day would come when let me see. Anyway, there's no...
樹脂固めとこ。忘れないうちに。意外と高いところにあるな。
The wind rises. Alhaitham isn't in, so feel free to sit wherever. I'll bring out the box. Oh, nothing. I just didn't realize how much time had passed. The box is pretty dusty, which means it's already been a while since I've moved into this place. I'm happy for her. I hope she'll be able to find happiness there. Anyway, enough about that. Let's see what I packed into this box.
今後のイベントであるかもな、じゃあ、ハーベ関係の。
Oh, I remember now. This is a drawing I made in Port Ormos. Obviously, I wouldn't call it anything special now, but I was less than 5 years old when I made this drawing. Now that I've said that out loud, I suppose I do have criticism and self-doubt have always... I admit that I may have spent a little... Anyway, never mind. My building blocks! It's been years since I've last seen these. Oh, and this blueprint. I made it by copying my mother's sketch, and the aspect ratio was horrendous. It's still technically the first blueprint I made myself, though. I was super proud of myself when I finished it, and unfortunately, my mother didn't realize that I had put it there. When she had a meeting with a client the next day, she handed my blueprint. It was only a few days later that he finally gathered up the courage to pay my mother a visit. He asked, "The door in this blueprint is even taller than the roof." My mother took me with... She didn't scold me about it in private, though. Let's see. Is there anything else left in this box? Huh. What was... this is my mother's note. When I was a child, I used to be super fascinated by this notebook. Huh. Wonder why she did... If only I could. Hey, it's not a matter of time, it's a matter... Who knows? Maybe this time something will click in my head. I could tell what you were thinking. I've tried my name, my father's name, my mother's name. I've even tried stuff like love you, Kave, take care. I wouldn't try that route again. I have a hunch. So we could find someone who was close to my mother. My mother was never really the one to be social. Let me think. Is there Huh. You've never really heard of her? She's a famous Gasharwar scholar. Professor Zaha Hadid published many works during her career, so I was able to learn a lot by studying her essays. If there's anyone who still remembers my mom, she's older now and is no longer teaching at the academia. Let's go take a look.
Too slow. Too slow. What am I supposed to do now? Forget it.
Tainari, what are you doing here?
Oh, it's you. Good to finally see you again. I came into the city to buy some experiment reagents, hoping to bring them back with me to Gandharvaville. But as soon as I got here, I noticed someone banging on Cyrus's door. You've all heard of Cyrus, right? He's an ex-sage and Sino's adoptive father. I was thinking about going over to ask what's happening. At
Granny? 外見年齢は16歳だけど、多分、滞在時間だけで言えば100年以上はいるんじゃないか
Kave, were you at the
確か
tavern?
時空列的に
drink or two. Can you still smell the alcohol?
空がさ、空とホタルが一緒に降臨して、で、ホタルが寝てる間に、空が一旦テーワと旅して、で、それ終わって、アビス教団に行った後にホタルが起き出したみたいな感じだろうから。
You look like a wreck, Kave. What happened? Are you...
Huh?
All right. I'll be heading back to get...
A granny who...
どうだろうな。その前の年齢とかも考えるとだいぶ経ってそうだと思うけど。
Ha! So, plan on keeping yourself locked in there, huh? Fine by me. If you're not going to come out, then I'm not going to leave. My tomato was growing so well. It had all the potential to become the best tomato this year, and you cut it straight from the vine.
I already told you you'd have to be awfully green as an investigator. You see, the word green here could refer to...
Enough nonsense. Just come out and face me, you...
You're out of your mind. If I've actually done something wrong...
Oh, why, you...
Professor Zaha Hadid?
And who are you? Oh, Kave. How long has it been? It's no big deal, really. A few of us old scholars, which brings us to our
Hey, don't try to defame me in front of the kids. If we're airing out each other's dirty laundry now, then why don't we talk about you sneaking in...
Ahem! Lucky for you, seeing these youngsters come to pay their respects today has... Come on, let's go.
愉快な場所になってんだ、ここ。
Is Faranak still doing well?
Yes, as far as I know. She left for Fontaine some time ago and started a new life for herself. She's still doing work related to architecture, though.
Ah, yes. I did...
No, not at all. She's already sacrificed a lot raising me as a single mother.
That's good to hear. Your mother did struggle quite a bit those few years. Sometimes I wonder if things were harder for her because she was so beautiful. She was still quite young when she had to make a lot of drastic. Even during her time in the academia, she was a thorough perfection. She had many admirers, but every time I saw her,
I'm sure she had many difficult moments in her life.
I'm not too sure. I do remember one time, though, when she said, "True art cannot be understood, but as an art, if you ask me, that."
So that's how it is. I wonder if the password could be...
What are you trying?
My mother left her notebook to me, but it has a password, and I haven't figured out what it is yet. I'm trying to learn more about her so I'd have a better chance at cracking the code.
It's your personalities are. I've taught a lot of students. They would know exactly. Some clients would choose to respect. When Farnak first graduated, she was.
I see.
No, I think they were probably beyond him. Farnak had many admirers.
So instead of understanding, perhaps all we need is just companionship. Huh. It worked.
Oh. Was that?
Yes!
Then you should be being the awkward person that she is, if you're ever in a mood to chat again.
Thank you.
There's no...
I wonder what my mother could have...
They all say Zaha Hadid's class is the toughest, but I think it's actually not too bad. On the other hand, though, structural mechanics is definitely a pain, no matter how you try to approach it. I doubled down and managed to get through it in the end. I met someone special. We decided to name our son Kaveh. The bad news came. And But...
Huh? Is this a drawing? Seems like it was done by my mother. This blonde man was probably my father, but who are the other people in the picture? Huh? What? From the dates in the notebook, she probably drew this Maybe we were thinking
The one who invited us to the gathering is a talkative woman. The talkative woman introduced everyone to each other. My husband seems to be friends with the man with long ears. I don't think I'd be able to become... That man is certainly very handsome. But he would constantly alternate between disjointed and... We were not acquainted with each other to begin with. Maybe my son will also partake in these gatherings in the future.
Who would have thought my mother used to attend that kind of thing? There's more written on the back.
Kaveh. I was both... You are very... No one will be able to help you during your journey. Whenever you feel down...
So that's the answer she prepared for me. Well, now that I've read her words, do you think I should accept Tainari's invite and attend that dinner at Pardis Di? Although it'd be nice to get together with... Besides, don't most people hate the feeling of seeing their friends troubled and being... And don't forget, You're not wrong, but I keep feeling like I haven't really helped them much and... Wait, do you mean it? You're not making fun of me, are you? I've gotten so used to sarcasm that I can't tell what's genuinely a compliment and... You know what?
ちょろいな。
Quit following me.
このエリア結構デイリーで何回も来たな。あ、もう夕方だ。
The wind rises. Quit following me.
登れない。
Alhaitham also got my invite, right? Will he be coming to join us?
That guy? He's never been a fan of social gatherings. I wouldn't get my hopes up if I were you.
Are you sure? All right then. I guess we won't wait for him.
Yeah, let's go. I mean, maybe we should give him a little more time. We can keep chatting for a while. Oh, you still haven't told me. What's the occasion for getting us together here at Pardis DI?
We're celebrating the end of the first phase of Kale's studies. I wanted to thank you all for the help you've given her along the way.
Then where's Kale?
She said she wanted to show everyone a bit of what she's learned, so she's still doing some last-minute prep at home. Anyway, let's get started. To tell you the truth, I'm actually not so confident that the curriculum will become a lot more involved, and I'm worried that she won't be able to get through all of it. I was hoping we could brainstorm about it together.
I knew this wouldn't be just a simple free dinner. Is that why you also invited Alhaitham?
Yes. I thought it would be good if we could all put our heads together about this. Anyway, let's take a quick trip down memory lane.
Never happened to me.
I'd just pull another all-nighter.
You two are hopeless. Does any—
Ooh, that's a good point. Confidence—
This could be a potential direction.
It's very simple. Instead of focusing on the amount of material you would like to teach, focus on the amount the student would be able to—
Wow, you actually showed up. I could
1000
probably count the number of times you've actually come to gatherings like this on just—
It's still more than the number of—
As long as you're still aware. So, what made the difference this time? You looking to drink your sorrows away with some friends?
どうなるんだろうな。
That's your purpose for being here, not
どれ
mine.
かが優先になるん
Don't
じゃない
project
か。
your ways of thinking onto me.
So you're saying the—
Precisely. Kale will have a long road in front of her.
Hey, just to get one
まあな
thing
んか
clear.
落下攻撃の速度が上がるってわけじゃないから、
We
多分
cannot let her enroll in her
ショー
avatar.
を使った場合は、ショーの元素爆発のあれが優先されるんじゃないかな。
She's been a trainee forest ranger for so long, she'll definitely be good with her hands.
What are you saying? Spontamad is the better choice. It's where I graduated from, after all.
Then what about Amorta? That's the darshan her master actually graduated from.
There are only 2 other Darshans left. We might as well select all of them on her enrollment application.
I'm trying to have a serious discussion here. Traveler, you aren't associated with any of the 6 Darshans. In your opinion, which Darshan would be the best?
Well said.
あるのかな、めちゃくちゃ高く
And
飛ぶ
my
方
goal
法。
in inviting you here was to gather some thoughts on the execution of
だ
this
からアル
second
ベト
phase.
の
Phase
エレ
2
ベーターあ
far
れ修正
exceeds
されても
Phase
でき
1 in
なくなった
both
らしいね。
curriculum complexity and the speed of
めちゃくちゃ
instruction.
高く飛べるや
I hope
つ。
Kale has prepared herself for what is coming.
Hey, what are you thinking now?
Actually, I was thinking about lending her a professions guide.
それ俺が欲しい。
I'll make sure to write, "Don't become an architect" on the front page of that. You're right. I can't deny that.
Is there another phase after phase 2? What's the ultimate goal of all of this?
We don't need to think that.
I'm telling you, that client had no idea what he was talking about.
Have you considered finding—
They're all the same.
It's too late now to change careers. Besides, you'll be getting up in the middle of the night to make edits to your own design even when the client doesn't request it.
No.
Cheer up, Kave.
We'll save that for the end, Sino. You can keep it to yourself until then.
あ、これ来た。
所詮1000人をすり抜けして引けなかった時代の敗北者、夏みかん。まだアルベドエレベーターあったら関運の元素爆発と合わせて飛んだらやばそう。
ね。今のところ、なんだろうな、バグとかでしか高く飛べてないだろうから。アルハイゼンが出た頃、なんかめちゃくちゃアルハイゼンが吹っ飛ぶ動画が流れまくってるのは覚えてる。
Too slow. Behold!
よし、カーブあと1ルートだ。
Alhaitham isn't in.
1キャラめちゃくちゃ飛ばしても1時間半かかるんだな。
Oh, nothing. I just didn't realize how much time had passed. I'm happy for her. Anyway, enough about that. Let's see what I packed into this box. What are all these things?
俺ちょっとまとめてスキップできればいいんだけど、まあそれ仕方ない。
Oh, I remember. Obviously, I would. Now that I've said the criticism and I admit that I. Anyway. My bill. Oh, I was super. Unfortunate. It was only a few days later that he finally. My mother took. She didn't scold. Let's see. Is there anything else left in this box? Huh. This is my. When I was a child. Huh. Wonder why she. If only I could. Hey, it's not a Who knows? Maybe this time. I could tell what you were thinking. I've tried my name. I've even tried. I wouldn't try that.
これは一旦置いておこう。
Yeah, you're right. Everyone's life journey. I just got an idea, though. What do you think? I'm glad you agree.
こうしてみるとなんか、やっぱり原神ってソーシャルゲームなんだな。いろんなルートのシナリオがあって、運気があってみたいな。今のところさ、スターレールとか、崩壊サードとか、最近の中国系のゲームによくある、こう、なんだろう。未来系な空間の中にいろんな国の人が集まってるみたいな世界観のやつあるじゃん。ああいう感じは原神にはないけど、でもそのうちなんか染まったりするんだろうかね。なんて言うんだろうね、あれ。サイバーパンクでも違うし。
所詮1000人をすり抜けして引けなかった時代の敗北者、夏みかん、デートイベントの原神がどうしてもラブコメゲームの画面に見える。
多分最初はそんな感じにやる予定だったんじゃないかな。ラブコメ的な感じで。交換とシステムあんまり意味なかったけど。知恵の伝道。めちゃくちゃ道に迷うんだけど。埋める、これあるから苦手なんだよな。
Quit following me. Quit following me.
あんまりラブコメ感ないけど。
Too slow. The wind rises.
Of all the places in the academia, who doesn't miss their time at the academia? Life was a lot simpler then, and we all had far less troubles. I created many designs that I thought were beautiful in the House of Dana. The academia also had a rule that allowed scholars to annotate any physical books they came across.
メモ書きすごそう。
Oh, here, this is a great example. This book, History of Ancient Sumeru Architecture, contains some analysis that I did many years ago. Huh? Why is Alhaitham's handwriting also in here? When did he ever read this book? I guess it's probably from when we worked on that research project together. Anyway, he probably never cared to tell you this, but the House of Dana is where Alhaitham and I first met. I came here to do my homework, and saw him sitting by himself next to that row of bookshelves. A group of Haravatat scholars were chatting near him, but he looked as if he was too lazy to join them. There was a pretty stark difference between him and all the rest of them. It was my fault for feeling bad for him. I thought he must have gotten into some kind of trouble and went over to ask if he needed anything, not realizing that...
Not realizing that you were in fact the one in a whole heap of trouble?
Al-Haytham? Why are you here?
The House of Dana is a public space. Anyone can come here, no?
But shouldn't you be at the records room at this hour? You're not here to watch me make a fool of myself, are you?
You think I would derive amusement from watching you fall? I came here to pick up a few files. If your voice hadn't managed to get through my soundproof earpieces,
All right, I admit I was probably overreacting just now. Probably not when he's...
There was nothing embarrassing or shameful about it. When I was still a student at the academia, I once collaborated. We had a number of differences, and the more important question is... I see. Then let me guess. Your next stop will be the pavilions around Razan Garden? Oh, and Kaveh. A lot of the books you annotated have been moved to the innermost section.
Huh? But what?
Sure, if that will give you some self-confidence. Leave any words of thanks you may have to the ex-Grand Conservator. The last time he was here, he was complaining that he had... As a result, the book...
What? But all of my annotations were extremely important. Instead of reporting me, they should have been thanking me for my service. The notes... Okay, just you wait. I'm going to fix this right now. I'll dig all the books out and return them to the proper shelves.
Anyway, you were about to say he put through the ringer. He probably did suffer quite a bit, that's true. But the satisfaction... There are plenty of architects in Sumer. Clearly, of course, each person is different, and we should respect admonitions will serve no purpose.
いや、他にもあったかもしれないけど、相手はノエルじゃないかな。あとノエルが一番なんかデートイベントっぽい感じがするしな。
Are you talking about me by any chance?
What do you think?
What else is there to... Anyway, you should take a look at this. Look at this comment on page 82. Dear Kaveh, thank you. See that? Now...
And it looks like you're already in a much better...
Me? Happy? I'm mocking that retired...
Why don't you just move all the books yourself? Kaveh had a habit of scribbling and writing in all
最近さ、
kinds
乙
of
女
books.
ゲームのアプリがさ、
Hey!
出たらしいんだけ
You
ど
didn't need
さ、
to bring that up.
それが結
Actually,
構
I also found a really old sketch and...
変わった乙女ゲームらしくてすごく気になってるんだよね。
Don't ask me.
なんか乙女ゲームなのに主人公の自宅が火事になって全焼したり、なんか好感度を上げるっていうかデイリーやるのにドラゴン討伐したりとか。
see that the designer was a huge fan of this project.
If I don't keep, there shouldn't be any complaints.
There are indeed no
すごい
records.
恋愛そっちのけで楽しそうな
What
ゲ
did I tell you?
ームだった。
Come on, let's take a stroll through port...
No need. It's almost...
Suit your...
今度俺もつこうか。これあれだな、俺の眠気的な問題で、やれてカーベともう一キャラだな。サムネ新しく使うのはめんどくさいから次のデートイベント消化もサムネ使い回してやるか。
No, I didn't design any one specific building. Most of my work here concerned structural renovation. Port Ormos had already existed since I was still a young child. It wasn't as large as it is now, though. It only came to its current size after a sizable expansion. The arch bridge over there, for example. That was one of my designs.
これカーブだったんだ。
When I was first tasked with the project, I decided to reference the growth patterns of nearby trees to split Port Ormos into 2 levels. My goal was to improve the overall utilization of space. We ran into a lot of issues. Residents can now behold all the ships. I was still young and new to the trade back then. The true cornerstone of the creative process. Once built, a building will continue to stand. You think so? I'm glad to hear that. My budget was tight, and I was unable to use the higher quality timber I had. Us creative types know better than anyone that most projects cannot... Yeah, you're right. We've spent long enough here. There's great. Most of... This is a rare... If you ever feel down...
ハーベンめちゃくちゃいいやつだな。いいやつだけど、こっから砂漠行こうってのは、だいぶだな。しかもここどれ行こうぜっていうノリで行く場所じゃないよな、ここ。メタ的な話になるんだけど、このワープポイントって普段、他の人たちも使ってんのかな。
could have congregated here while I was gone. We won't be able to sit and talk peacefully.
すごい。
Don't be scared. My guiding stuff. Have fun with this gift.
ソーシャルゲーム的な
Come at me.
戦闘の入り方したな。なんか FGO とかだと序盤なんかシナリオの合間に戦闘を入れるっていうソーシャルゲームのお約束やりまくってたせいで、戦闘に入る時の会話のネタがもうなくなって超メタ的な発言してるっていうのをなんか見たことがある。これか。
The night is cold.
Isn't this place great? I often come here to clear my mind when I'm dealing with You know what I mean. Just take me as an example. My family, although I'll hate, you could probably say I followed. Life is too boring when you live with no enthusiasm and passion. Of course, but still, isn't with different landforms come the sight here has moved me. My pain they are far more If you were to ask me what art is, you think so? Remember that question I brought up before? I still haven't found it. Those who pursue, I'll try gather. In any case.
カーベのイベントがようやく終わった。なんだかんだ死者誤入して2時間かかった。そんなことある？地震だ。揺れは弱いけど、ちょっと長いな。まあ大丈夫だろう。いやー、カーベ。相違のね、素材がちょうど欲しかった。さあ、どうしよう。次誰やろうか。サムネイル的にやる予定だったのがファルザンとレイラだったんだけど、ちょっとね、体力を持たないね。今日、起きてるから、そろそろ寝ないとな。そしたらじゃあガイアやるか。サムネ女性陣なのにやってんのが全部男性っていう。あ、だからガイアのデートイベント開放されたのってあれか。最近か。ガイアどこにいるんだこれ。 あら、可愛いことしてる。
Hey, little birdie, don't feel down. Come and perch on my shoulder. Don't be shy. I'll show you around town. Really? No wonder they never pay attention to me. Forget it. I probably shouldn't be anthropomorphizing them anyway. Haven't seen you in some time. To which one of the Animo Archon's winds do I owe the honor? Oh, is this your way of saying that you missed me? Since it wasn't meant to be with this little birdie, I'd better leave it alone. Let's take a walk, shall we? If you're wondering why I'm here, Jean's been worrying about trade safety recently. I discovered this when I unwittingly burst into her office to save the day. Another job involving long-distance travel falls to me. I suppose it's my own fault for having such a strong sense of duty. Still, on the bright side, business is now taken care of. And I have unused travel funds, so I was planning to...
なんか後ろのこの人がすっごい意味深なこと言ってた。
Gundafar, we are in the middle of a war. Your place is at the front lines by my son's side. Pray tell, what provokes your unwarranted return to the palace?
A matter of utmost importance, Your Majesty, such that I must personally report it to you.
Huh. Outdoor theater. Looks fun.
なんか被り物してるなと思ったら、お芝居だったのか。
Actually, yes. I saw some guards do a musical performance when I was traveling with their caravan in Sumeru. They were desert dwellers. So are these actors. Come on, let's go watch.
That's enough work for today.
Your Majesty, not only has God bestowed the throne upon you, but your beloved son, Prince Kubad, has led our brave warriors to victory against Frasyav's army. Frasyav's brazen ambition is no more. My king, this battle has finally restored the dignity of His Highness the Prince, and I believe this peace settlement.
Ah, it's the tale of Prince Kubad. Ever heard this one? Don't worry, I still remember the general plot. Let me fill you in on the background while the king deliberates. The main characters are the brilliant Prince Kubad and his war-hungry father, King Kabus. The one talking to the king right now is Gundafar. When the prince was young, the king was deceived by a malicious rumor that the prince had mistreated his stepmother. He demanded that the prince walk through. Miraculously, the prince emerged now uneasy in the presence of his mistrustful father. This is the part where the prince has won the war and decided to forge a peace with the...
Frosyav lost because he didn't. Once the bells of war have begun to toll, if Kubad still wishes to be my son and hold the intaglio I bestowed...
Your Majesty, I must caution that if, however, we insist on bringing a whole... My king, a people is to their nation as wild grass to...
Cease, Gundafar. Your mind grows. As for my son Kubad...
What are you saying, my noble king? When he was falsely accused, you once doubted his honor and made him walk. Now you would turn me away when I...
The justification is that my word, not yours, is the law of the land. Cease and be gone, Gundafar, so you may spend the rest of your days with your wife.
What has become of the king that I served with my life? Fanaticism has robbed him of...
I must think of a way to seize control of the army back...
Brilliant acting, Darbil.
I saw you approaching us in the middle of the scene. I was worried that my performance would be subpar and you'd think I...
Not at all. Far from it. Actually, let me introduce you. This is... When we first got to know each other, he was still a guard for one of the merchant caravans.
Nice to meet you. To be perfectly honest, I wasn't making a... I was already pretty good at telling stories. Full disclosure, Anyway, we're all good enough at acting to get... So I got a student from the acad...
I could tell that you've had some...
That's good. Well...
Sure, why not? Tickets for two, please.
There's no need for tickets. You could just get some food from Jafar Tavern. We've actually found a sponsor for this performance, too. I doubt we'll be able to keep him.
Darbil Asgar still hasn't shown up for the next scene. We should get his costume and sword out so they'll be ready to—
My apologies.
Would you two like to order some food?
Bear with us a moment. We're just going to take a look at the menu. I was at Port Ormos discussing some business opportunities, and some crook was trying to pull a fast— He's a good guy. There's a lot of fun to be had if you hang around. That's my secret form. Thanks for waiting. We'll take you up on that tandoori roast chicken. And let's throw in some desserts, too. One each of the rose custard, the and the patisara pudding, please. That should see us through the show. We've got good seats. We can watch the show as we eat. If I remember correctly, the next— But I won't spoil it for you. You have to experience it for yourself. I don't tend to judge a story's worth by my— History always repeats itself. When you keep—
Here you are. The check's on the table, too.
No need. I'll pay up front.
Thank you, sir. Oh, but this is too generous.
Call it a token of my gratitude for the excellent service. The food all smells wonderful, too.
Thank you so much.
Hey, Kaya. We can't do the rest of the show without him, so I'm really sorry, but we—
Ooh, that would be fun. I wouldn't say no. Darbil, would you lose any income if I were to mess this up?
Not really. I mean, there's not much—
Don't worry about that.
Let me think. Well, you already— wait, but Kubot has a specific— Switching actors is one thing, but where—
Well, good thing that—
You're kidding.
Sure.
It's in the rest.
Ah, それを思い出した。新衣装用のデートイベントだったな。
Gotta say, I think I actually look pretty dapper in this. It's a pity I don't have many opportunities to wear it in— Uh-oh, not a fan of me as a prince?
Kaya, here's your script for the next scene.
Only one way to—
Okay, I think we've covered all your lines and movements on stage.
All right.
Great.
Oh.
General Kubot, son of Kabus, the fate of this battle is clear. I beg you, please spare my few
Frasyav, though you now lead only the husk of a once mighty army, even your most savage warriors have no desire to see further bloodshed, and none among your ranks have opposed these peace talks. Nevertheless, I must hear it from you one final time. General Frasyav.
With my army in ruins, Yes, let us end our hostilities.
We share the desire to lay down our arms for good and liberate our hearts from the dirge of hatred. Then as God above is our witness, by the authority vested in me by this I hereby declare that my tutor Gundafar has already made haste to my father the king with the recommendation of a truce.
Prince Kubod, your name is renowned throughout your land and ours. I will place my hope in your words.
One will find on a battlefield no master of ceremony. I, Kubod, son of Kabus, hereby pledge protection to you and all of your kin. May the oceans be stained red with my blood if I am ever to renounce this oath.
Wow, your friend is so dreamy. Hey, Rashana, you don't want to miss this.
I return, Your Highness. I hope I'm not too late.
Nay, I am not so rash as to preempt my father's blessing.
My child, I must share with you the gravest news.
How can this be? You mean to say that my father has rejected our proposal for peace?
He has indeed. I urged him to reconsider, but far stricter punishment than this. Please heed my warnings, dear child.
Nay, the truce must stand. I cannot renounce my oath. How can man claim to stand above beast without remaining true to his word? The masses have grown weary of death and conflict in both our nation and theirs. When I departed my beloved home to fight in a foreign land, alas.
Gaia, the next line is, alas, is this fate's grand...
Must it be so?
Huh? Wait.
My dear audience, I ask you this. Do you believe in fate? If... Oh? Then so must it be. Yes, I shall discard this Intalia.
Wait, but that's not... My dear prince, do you intend to betray your father?
Fate means to send the machinations of... Fate would see my sword tainted with the blood, but I shall not bow.
Bravo! Where did this guy come from? Is he one of the new hires?
Hey, shut up. Stop.
I, Kubad, will spend the rest of my days in a...
Prince Kubad, my child, there is no need...
Gundafar, my dear mentor, but I must walk this path.
Goodbye.
The show is pretty good.
Ooh, it's Prince Kubad. Could I please get your autograph?
Why, certainly, ma'am.
Ooh, thank you.
Just an autograph? Well, you can get one of those at any time. Acting is quite fun.
Darbil, could you introduce me to this young...
My apologies, Master Toos.
The performance was outstanding across the improvised section was particularly...
Thank you, sir. And a big thanks also to...
Gaia, was it? Well, young man, I must say...
Thank you for the invite, sir. But...
Well then, consider it an open... My door is always open. Darbil, we can continue discussions on the spot.
Thank you so much,
Seriously,
Gaia. Thank you for bailing me out again. You know, you should...
Darbil, Asgar is back. He lost...
Genius invocation again?
Sure. Okay, I think they're all gone.
Squall and Fury!
All right, this should be far enough. Don't think they'll find me here. People were starting to expect a lot of things. I don't mind socializing. What about you? Did you enjoy the show? Oh? I was expecting a lengthy... Let me think. Perhaps there's an inept god out there deciding everyone's fate? Yeah. Inept is a good word for it. Anyway, that's exactly why actors need to wake up and realize they don't have to follow the script. Oh, my dear traveler, please don't take me too literally. Everyone, you and I included, if you don't like the script, just walk off the stage and join the audience. A little too obtuse? Relax. When I did my little bit of audience interaction back there, you had no... You're still holding on to the Intalia I threw you. It's been the most fascinating day.
あ、ガイアのあれは、ルートが2つなんだ。
Too slow.
Gundafar, we are in the middle of a war. Your place is at the front lines by my son's...
A matter of utmost
Outdoor theater. Looks fun. Ah, yes. Given that the acting grandmasters saw fit to allocate, in other words, perhaps a fancy meal at a nice restaurant? Or a river cruise that takes in the sights of Sumeru City? Hey, no need to put it like that. Let's keep walking. The rules of the Knights of Favonius state that any and all expenditures during a business trip are counted as travel expenses. That's more than enough justification to live a little. Of course, with me being here on my own. It was
この写真機はあれだな。
But now that I've run into you, why don't we make this a joint trip? You're always so busy. It's and anyway, life is short, so we should make the most of the time we have. Great. Music to my ears. I'll cover the travel costs, of course. There's nothing more enjoyable than the company of a good friend. Let's call this a nice little excursion to round off my long business trip. Now, let me think how about Liyue? I'd be heading past there on my way back to Mondstadt anyway, so it's not out of the way. Well, Liyue's Ministry of Civil Affairs frequently corresponds with the Knight. I don't have much luggage, so it won't take me long to pack. Give me...
ガラッと場所変わったな。
I'll be the eyes above.
メールからいきなりリーユに来た。お、でもこれあれじゃないか。今やってるイベントと被んないか。
I've heard that there's lots to see and do in Liyue, but I'm sure you're more familiar with the place than I am, so I'll leave the itinerary to you. Great. Maybe you can tell me about your previous travels here along the way. It's such a satisfying feeling to just drop everything, go on a long trip, and see something new. Who knows who we might cross paths with? We might even end up going on an impromptu adventure.
I wonder if she can see the kites here from Jinson's village.
Do you know this shop? It looks pretty nice from the outside. Shall we take a look?
Welcome to Mingxing Jewelry. We are a long-established trader.
Let me see. Ah, what do you think, traveler? See anything that suits my style? I trust your judgment.
Ah, you're interested in souvenirs. If you're looking for a specific design, we can make it to your specifications.
Oh, that's a pity. I'm just visiting and I won't be in town for very long.
No worries at all, sir. If you're looking for something off the shelf, why not go and see Mr. Shurto at the Jade Mystery? Exactly. There's no risk in purchasing a piece of jade that's already been cut. I won't say any more, as it's only human nature to spend a little when you're the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
I think that's sound
TikTok でなんかめちゃくちゃ中国の宝石商の人かな。なんか石を買ってそれをカッティングして鑑定して捨てるみたいなのをシリーズ化してるアカウントがあって、まあ、そんな感じなんだろうな。
Welcome! Looking for uncut stones or pre-cut jade? We've got plenty.
Uncut stones. Ah, yes, we were just briefed on that.
I believe I detect a quiet but distinct tone of apprehension in your words. Feel free to peruse at your leisure. Sure, you can bet on jade, and my terms are clear and...
Sounds perfectly reasonable.
Yes, exactly. I'm glad you understand. Anyway, betting on jade, I'll leave you to browse at your own pace now while I deal...
Amber-colored jade would Why not? This is a quirky little place. Somehow? Well, if you're not interested...
Ahoy there, Captain!
What, a poor sailor like me? You must be joking.
Hey! Keep your voice down.
I mean, you want the full lit? Captain Kaya! What?
Oh, just...
Yes.
Anywhere you'd recommend I visit while I...
Let me think. Wanmin Restaurant's always a pretty good bet. Chef Mao's daughter is a skilled chef. And, speaking of my wife...
Your wife? Yes.
Very well, thank you. Very well.
All right. See you.
なんかめちゃくちゃ含みある会話してんな。
I finally remembered who that was.
I see. So you went through that whole conversation with no idea who you were. Old Wu's usually quite the chatterbox, so it's very unusual for him to just take off mid-conversation.
An educated guess. It's pretty straightforward, honestly. The captain was making a delivery to Mondstadt when his...
Well... It still seems strange to me. His eldest was once playing on that big rock over there when he took a tumble and injured himself. I helped to patch the kid up, and the next day, I'm just surprised he was...
Well, stubborn, I can believe. Someone had drilled a gaping...
Someone drilled a hole in his ship? Oh dear. His line of work isn't easy. The poor fellow usually has to set sail, but competition is fierce these days. Anyway, I digress. We merchants protect our goods like our own lives, so who knows?
I am an upstanding member.
Since you asked about recommendations, if memory serves, they're just about to retell the tale of Brit.
So...
普通に理由へ観光してるな。
So this is...
we meet again, Captain Kai. What a coincidence. Twice in one day. Oh, that didn't...
Wu, weren't you just at Wanwen Bookhouse buying a book?
Shh, just leave it. I take it that you two aren't from around these parts.
Oh, seems... Did you manage to get something?
Yes, thank you.
I'm so lost, Wu.
Your wife's originally from Mondstadt, isn't she?
The latter. Oh, this is so humiliating. Anyway.
Oh, that sounds all...
I mean, he's still here, and he...
Yes, he did. Thankfully, he heard my wife was injured and quite shaken.
So...
Huh?
What? No, that's not... I did...
They did what?
The treasure hoarders always move in groups, and fighting back when you're outnumbered isn't usually...
Captain Kaya, please, there's no need for you to try to save face. Yet, despite that, I somehow... They tossed me into the water to humiliate me, and to use it as what I'd intended was to pretend to... That was before Captain Kaya, but God knows what they did with my clothes.
So,
I made it to the winery, but the maids noticed me. After my wife recovered consciousness, she had to have a long talk with the young... Trust me, I know. My wife never lets me forget.
I'm sorry, Captain.
It's fine. It's my own fault for thinking I could sweep it under the... Still, it won't stop me from trying. In fact, they do serve some food here, too, but it's not the best.
I wonder how much... I wonder how...
Oh, poor...
He really didn't have to share all the details of that story. But since he didn't seem to mind,
I did actually forget it. D-Luke thought some pervert was harassing the maids. He charged straight out the door, great sword in hand and raring to go. So many people owe me favors nowadays. Hey, you did. I just helped the guy out on a couple of occasions.
I'm back with fruit.
Thank you.
Oh, don't mention it. It's just once my new pharmaceutical business takes off.
Pharmaceutical business?
Shipping's impossible work nowadays. I'm going to become a partner of Boo Boo Pharmacy and provide. It's specially formulated to treat seasonal joint and limb pain. If you didn't know, I've suffered from it myself, it's a good cause and a stable source of income.
That's impressive, Wu. I would.
Oh no, not Dr. Baiju. Actually, it was his master, Dr. Baifudze. He gave me a few of his traditionally formulated bone.
Dr. Baiju?
Yeah, I told him I'd be enthusiastic. He said that he shouldn't really be
but I got chatting with Dr. Baiju recently when the secure transport agent.
Huh?
Captain Wu.
Just out on the.
Hold on a second. I just remembered he spent a lot of Mora on it, but when this Baifudze you met.
He did.
If I may, Captain Wu. There's a lot of Mora involved here. It seems like it would be worth.
You're right, Captain Kaya. A quick.
He left in a hurry. He must be stressed out of his.
Hey, let him deal with this, okay? Nope, I'm no Dark Knight hero. Or martial arts hero for. Wait. Or are you? Either way, Liyue has its own rules. We came here to enjoy ourselves.
It is said that yet fate
Is that all? Huh. I was hoping to hear the rest. It was all right. I suppose the.
Oh, I see the show is over. Yeah.
Then what are you waiting for?
Hold on. Let's not lose our cool.
Well, I'd arranged to meet him at the Yunshang tea.
Okay.
I've got no one to blame but myself. Young lady, you're a good. The consequences are mine alone.
It's obvious, isn't it? He needs to report the case. I am quite curious. There are countless victims of injustice in the world. We can't try to help each and every one. Oh, I'm genuinely flattered. But we both know that I'm not that kind of person, really. Your logic is very straightforward, but I like how you think. Captain Wu?
I'm sorry?
Let's say, hypothetically speaking, I found a if it could be done.
What exactly are you?
The traveler here is adamant that you should ask me for another favor. Personally, I blame the
Captain Kaya, young.
All right. All right, then it's set. You're here. Good. I'll head upstairs first, and you join me in a bit. You've got nothing to worry about. As long as before I toss the coin, I'll get our guy to bet heads or tails. Then it's your turn to bet. Now remember, if I touch my chin, you bet heads.
Hello. Are you waiting for someone? As long as you follow the...
I know all I have to do is wait here, but...
From The way you describe it, all that awaits me back in Mondstadt is a horde of insufferable sycophants.
I understand. For one as ambitious as yourself.
What are you doing? It's common courtesy to introduce yourself. They're running out of tables, huh? Looks like this location's getting too small for them.
So, my friend, what's your name?
Here is the tea that...
Mr. Bai, this has been a most pleasant...
Yes, good fortune indeed. In that case, I must thank...
You there. I'll get yours too. Oh, you can't tell? My family's lived in Mondstadt for generations. The sights of Liyue Harbor are rather spectacular. I've half a mind to... That would be quite nice. If the family would spare me a little loose change, I could even... And? The point of life is to enjoy yourself.
Mr. Rich, just to clarify, that's quite a lot.
The name's Albert. Surname Rich. But only the servants in the house address me as Mr. Rich.
Albert does have a nice ring.
You flatter me. What say you to acting as my guide during my time in Liyue? I'll pay you
No need, my good friend. I shan't be so vulgar as to take your mora. Well, to join a noble gentleman on his travels.
You there. You're welcome to join us if you want. Guhua, huh? Strange choice of name.
Yes, well, there are many martial arts clans, in fact.
Fair enough. Still, weird name. Seriously, though, what kind of skills do you guys train anyway? It's all for show, right? I already told the server to put it on my tab. Don't bother getting her to split the bill. It'll only complicate things.
Young lady, there's no need to take things so seriously. Why don't you loosen up and enjoy the free drink?
Are you trying to make a point by throwing my generosity back?
Please, my friends, let's not... You young people have hot tempers, I understand that.
Did I hear that right? So you'll only pay... No, what I find truly absurd is your refusal to play fair. I demand that... Fine. You can have your apology.
Well,
Why do you join us, Mr. Bai? Let's entertain this... What are you trying to say, Mr. Bai? Whose side... And anyway, it's no big deal if you win.
All right then. I suppose it's not all that different.
All right, now we're talking. Okay, now that we've agreed on the rule, well, that should be simple enough. Here, I'll take this...
Young lady, I can see that you haven't spent... I, too, only met this Mondstadt millionaire by complete chance today. But we're getting along just fine. In the real world, you young people...
Just so we're clear, let's say the marked side is heads, and the unmarked side is tails. We should also...
Sounds fair to me.
All right, then, I'll start us off.
I suppose the choice...
Let me think. I'll also go with tails. What about...
Oh, darn,
I won as well. Guess they're... I have a suggestion. I flipped the coin last time, so why don't you go next?
Now just wait.
Oh?
You are both young, and I've already seen your short tempers for myself. If Albert loses this round, well, that's not my only consideration. In dice games, people use all sorts of methods to rig the game. If Albert wins the next round, and if that happens, only for you to then find out that the coin was rigged all a purely hypothetical scenario, of course.
Very diligent of you indeed, Mr. Bai.
A rigged coin will always be a little heavier than a normal coin, you see.
What's your bet this time?
I'll stick
tails, huh? Well, you seem to have a feel for this.
Well, my luck's still just about holding out. The three of us are now tied.
Well, here you... That's what makes it fun.
You make a...
Okay, and now it's my turn to guess. No.
Why did it have to be heads? This...
Sure, why not? I'm having fun.
But Albert...
Oh, come on now. No need to walk on eggshells here. Let's keep it simple.
Sure.
Well, here's the coin. Wouldn't it defeat the whole purpose of betting if you guessed this?
All right. Ooh, looks like Rex Lapis has smiled upon me today after all.
Look at you.
Well,
Sure. Let's... What, 50,000?
All right.
Great, then I'll...
Oh, how unfortunate. Albert, I'm terribly sorry, but as it happens...
Advance payment?
This day,
Just 50,000? That's not what we agreed on.
Huh? What are you talking...
No, it wasn't.
1 million?
I'm being perfectly serious.
You're lying through your teeth, huh? Oh, I never met either of you before today. Huh? Do you have... Well, don't you try to... Do you really think that... Frauds!
What is going on here?
Wait, don't throw me out!
Well, let's take this somewhere else. Okay, you two.
Gladly. He's making up he won 250,000 from me, then another 8...
Okay, so after settling up
it's a complete pack of
Sorry to interrupt you all, but you...
Oh, thank goodness you're finally here. What took you so long?
Leave me out of this.
Our new owner laid down the law not too long ago. We return any winnings to the party you took them from, and we'll say that...
Why should I have to give...
Oh, but I think you do.
You...
Halberd! Fang!
Please don't.
This was never your Mora to begin.
じゃあ無理やり返したな。
We can't have this discussion in front of the other customers.
「この人たちは全く関係ない人だった。
What did you think, Captain Wu?
Yes, everything.
Woo. This was your doing, along with that blonde one. I know where you live.
Who'd be scared of a crook?
Oh, look at that. He figured it out.
Don't you two get cocky on...
My apologies for having to leave this question until you'd vacated the premises. I noticed that all the guests on the second floor were present before you took your seats. Would I be correct in saying you were looking to set...
Wait, so you...
Under normal circumstances, we would never tolerate a... However, I understand that our owner holds the traveler in high regard.
Ah, as I thought. Over to you, brave hero.
Okay. I understand the situation now.
Well, Captain Wu, remember what I promised you? What do you...
Excuse me, coming through.
Yes, that's him all right.
Wait! Where's your evidence?
You can't talk your way out of this one. You're already suspected of defrauding multiple victims out of smaller amounts. Does the plaintiff have any witnesses? If so, you got tangled up. In that case, please come with me. Don't worry, we won't...
Hey, keep your hands off me. I'll cooperate.
Thank you so...
Well, I have an idea.
Let me think.
Now, sounds fun to me.
Precision strike!
Huh? Well, this was certainly an eventful end to... Wouldn't be much of a lucky coin. You still need some practice to master the technique, but, a better question. My answer would be that I tell the coin Of course, this whole arrangement hinges on a pre-existing... Yeah, I was a little surprised when... A good gambler always keeps her options, so when I went to the counter, That safely avoided any risk of him... But hey, what does it matter? The fact that he... Especially... As long as I chose the...
You two are genuinely the smartest people I've ever met. I'm no intellectual, so I would... Well, I mean, we were just... If there's anything...
No? There are two kinds... My informants have to fulfill what... Ah, and you're torn again. Well, it's okay. This is the regular coin If it's heads, we're friends. But if it's tails, you're at my beck and call.
So?
What do you think? What did...
I understand now. You have...
まだある。ちょっと電気つけてくるか。
Quit following me. You're always so busy. It's high time you gave yourself a proper break. Even the sharpest blade loses its edge if it's always in use. Regular maintenance is essential for reliable performance. And anyway, life is short, so we should make the most of the time we... Now your honest character is... In that case, I guess today's end-of-trip blowout is cancelled. Oh? You do... When I was souvenir shopping, I picked out something for you. Let's keep that a secret. It's just that I didn't... I want you to find out for yourself when you open... Then it's settled. We'll leave together shortly.
このリーエルートとモンドルートか。
You want to use my hat as an umbrella? Huh. The audacity to even make that request.
こんな雨の中一人で立ったら。
Look, Mondstadt's windmills. Ah, such a comforting sight. Now, as promised, according to the merchant I bought it from, mysterious spirits called merchants love to exaggerate. I know you like rare things, so perhaps you can add this to your collection. You're welcome. I'm ready to head into the city. I could give everyone their souvenirs. Maybe I'll take a breather first. But I know I'll only get bored sitting in my room. Yes, let's start by going to... You too busy?
You must have had a tough journey, Kaya. Oh, it's been a while, cutie.
Yes, welcome back, Kaya. I understand. Back to matters at hand, Kaya. I have already received your report. You did well this time, thank you. A few days ago, we received a letter from the representative of the Wine Merchants Association in Sumeru. It was thanks to you.
Just doing my duty. Anything to reduce the acting grandmaster's workload.
Given the suddenness of the situation, but I didn't think there would be...
Just doing the right thing. But...
Souvenirs?
Here, the letter opener is for Jean. The jeweled brooch is...
The artistry of this is exquisite. Look at the ornamentation on the sheath. This must be one of those crafts unique to Sumeru. It's my first time seeing one in person.
I love the color of the gem in this brooch.
It wasn't too bad.
Might I intrude?
Albedo...
I finished the latest quarterly expenses report for the workshop. It's ready for your review. Traveler, greetings. And Kaya, welcome back from Sumeru. Haven't seen you in a while. You two look like...
As a matter of fact, the honorary knight and I traveled back from Sumeru together. Ah, yes, and I brought some souvenirs for you.
You're too kind. Klee has been constantly inquiring as...
Since you weren't around, she thought you had also been grounded, and that it would be a long time before you could come out.
Children always have the most...
Also been grounded? Sounds like things haven't been too dull for you all in my absence.
Evidently, you're not the least bit surprised.
No. On the contrary.
Anyway, when Klee's next...
Sure. Makes sense.
I'll leave these documents here.
Kaya, I've approved your vacation request. Use this time to relax. You too, honorary knight. There isn't any work the night...
Thank you. Then
enjoy your vacation. But don't forget...
Don't worry. I'm nearly done with those. I'll be able to...
読み聞かせが終わる
I'm surprised Klee still hasn't escaped. I taught her a few tricks just before I left. Kids will always have their moments of mischief. But to be... Well, now... Ooh, how about we visit the Dawn Winery under the pretext of delivering souvenirs? Diluc should be there tomorrow since he has business to deal with. But then there's nothing scheduled. What do you think? When should we go? Great. Then it's settled. Let's meet the day after tomorrow.
結構急に分岐が増えたな。
No matter what kind of environment you may find yourself in, with thorough reconnaissance, you should be able to...
The wind rises. Behold!
お、ガイアいた。
You're more punctual than I expected. Let's head inside.
Master Kaya?
Long time no s-
Yes, it's been a while, hasn't it?
No need to be so formal.
What a pity.
Never mind. The main thing is that you and Adeline are here.
She's taking some time off.
Perfect. I brought
My goodness. Would you like anything to drink?
Well, what perfect...
Let me fetch a barrel and have someone...
Oh, I won't be needing an entire barrel.
Oh, Master Diluc might grumble, but he doesn't mean it.
Much obliged. Then I'll have a glass of dandelion wine.
The name is not that literal. It is a drink with virtually no alcoholic content. As
strictly speaking, that's not
Please, enjoy. Pleased you liked it. Looks like...
How have you been recently? Is the winery's business doing...
To tell you the truth, we've had our work cut out for us recently.
So, you've had no...
But with him being out on business for a few days...
At least take half a day to see a doctor and make... If you're worried about having someone to handle the winery, why not leave it to me? I'm familiar enough...
Master Kaya... Please.
All right, all right.
While I'm resting, I shall leave Dawn wine...
Don't worry, I'm... Though, it's a pity this batch seems a bit bland. How about I go to the wine locker and fetch one from the... Of course it's fine.
Sorry, I'm a little late to the welcome party, but I believe the reserve collection is reserved for a reason, you know.
Oh, Adeline, surely you missed...
I see.
We just returned from Sumeru, and perhaps enjoy a...
How could I object?
Oh, Adeline, I also brought some gifts for you all.
Oh my!
Of course I remember. You always...
No, you're all grown up now, and you...
True, I don't get sick as much.
Oh, are you hungry? Would you like to...
Well, now that you met...
Steak?
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Fragrant
steaky.
cedarwood grilled. Medium. Stewed vegetables on the side?
Yes.
My pleasure. Traveler, I'm sorry I'm not... Grilling the steak over fragrant cedarwood since using an open flame to grill indoors is somewhat... I can offer you a satisfying salad, cold cut platter, and anything stewed. What would you prefer, Traveler? Okay, right.
まあ肉だからね。
Master Kaya really likes stewed vegetables, but of course, he wasn't always such a complicated character. Boys, at least that's my experience. His temperament has changed quite a lot over the years. Kaya is much... When he answers your question with a question, stop and... As for not knowing what he's up to, but don't let him get to you too much. Do you know why it's called that? The name was coined... They were adorable when they were young. Master Diluc wasn't happy. And how did I find this out? Because when Master Kaya attempted to distract me, I could... The Captain Kaya of... Anyway, they were discovered by Master Crepus in the end, and he was furious. Oh, the wine cellar had over a dozen... I'd originally planned to secretly finish off the work. He and I finished scrubbing the remaining barrels. When Master Crepus saw that the bruises on Master Kaya's hands were even darker than those on Master Diluc's, Master Crepus wasn't stern by nature. So, to comfort Master Kaya... So you see, Kaya was a gentle child. His friends have a special place. Kaya's quite a smooth talker these days. Ah, good. Okay.
Neutralizing threats.
Drinking fine wine, eating Adeline's... Oh? What has Adeline been telling you? So...
Food's ready. I hope you're hungry.
Oh, we never imagined there would be such a magnificent feast. You've really outdone yourself.
If you keep chatting away the food...
I'm afraid that just won't do. After all, I don't live here.
Since it's... I know that us sharing a meal is a sign of our close relationship. Traveler, given how petty Master Kaya can be, it must be hard for him to make...
See? I do have a...
Hello, everyone. Pardon, I'm Guangzhe, a guard with the Secure Transport Agency.
No wonder Elzer felt so strongly about staying.
The pleasure is all mine. The Secure Transport Agency has worked...
Why don't we go inside to discuss the details?
Certainly, Master Kaya.
なかなか長いな、イベントが。
And how might I address you, sir?
Just Kaya is fine. I'm standing in today for Elzer, who usually...
A pleasure to meet you as well. I'm not just here today to... Our collaboration with Dawn Winery last... If it's no trouble, please, also mention to Master Diluc that our agent...
Master Kaya.
Master? Wait. Pardon my foolishness, but might I...
I'm Master Krepus's adopted son, and Master Diluc's brother. However, as a serving captain with the Ninth...
My mistake. I apologize.
You may have misunderstood, Mr. Guangzhe. I'm also a guest here today. But please, don't...
Thank you for your graciousness. I knew the Dawn Winery's...
In addition to the apple cider, the winery... Adeland, please...
いい口実ができたんだな。
Thank you again for your most gracious hospitality. Today's trip...
Please, it was a...
The guest has left, Master Kaya. It's no skin off my nose. All I really wanted to say is, I have never considered you an out...
I understand, Adeland.
Hello, everyone.
Now that was fast.
The doctor said there was nothing to worry about. I just need some rest. But on the way back, I met someone who was looking for Master Kaya.
Kaya! Shh! Klee's here to rescue you. Come on! Let's escape. Ah! Miss Honorary Knight! Are you grounded with Kaya too?
Grounded? Sumeru was fun, but it can't compare with Mondstadt. So here we are.
You two must have done some... Kaya has rescued Klee loads of times before. So when Albedo told me you came back, I went, Kaya, you're free now.
Oh.
This is a fully...
Hello, miss. I'm Klee.
What?
I really need to take Kaya and Miss Honorary Knight...
I see. Hello, Miss Klee. You needn't worry. Master Kaya's ground...
See, Adeland, you don't need to worry.
Ah, まだ結構あるけど。せっかくだから全部見てっか。
Leave the wounded to me.
I'm surprised Klee still hasn't escaped. Kids will always... Well... Ooh, Diluc should be there tomorrow since he has business to deal with. But then there's nothing scheduled for the day after. What do you think? When should we go? That works. Then I guess we'll see Diluc.
これで分岐するのね。
Search forth! You made it. Brace yourself for some...
あ、腰が痛い。
If you're not feeling well, then let me go this time.
Oh, I'm fine. It's not serious.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What are you doing here today?
Oh, it's nothing particularly pressing. It's just that...
Is that it?
Oh, do you really mean that? Because my...
Sounds like you're in a hurry to reach your goal. Been plotting this raid for a long time?
Plotting a raid? Why, you misunderstand. My informants tell me that last month, the Dawn Winery spent a large sum of mora on... Of course, a teetotaler like... Oh, wait. But the sterling rep...
Quite the story. You used that one last year.
What? Really? Here. This is for you.
Thanks.
That's it?
You want to comment? Okay, then. This thing is... very in line with... Elzer, fetch a bottle of this year's newest...
One moment, Master Kaya.
What's wrong, Elzer?
My throat is a bit raspy is all. It got better after...
Many illnesses are caused by... Surely you should have long since handed over the work of the winery to...
Actually...
Take some time off, Elzer. Don't put it off. It's important to take care of your health. You have to take it seriously. And...
Master Diluc...
Enjoy your vacation. Though, there's nothing quite like enjoying a quality wine while feeling the gentle breeze against your face.
Normally I'd accompany you, but unfortunately I still...
Really?
I asked Connor to select a bottle of our best.
You asked Connor?
He hasn't seen you in a while. He's just happy to be able to do this.
Considerate as ever.
Such artist.
Glad you like it.
Very well, Master.
Elzer is a good guy, and he's very responsible.
Master Kaya, your wine and an apt traveler, this one's for you.
Oh, very clear.
Isn't it? This one's...
No need. Sweet...
Don't mind if I do. We used to always pour the first glass for you when cracking open a new barrel.
Well, since it wasn't me harvesting the grapes, de-stemming, or crushing them, it's much more fitting that you should take the first taste.
Crushing the grapes improves the aroma and color of the wine during the fermentation process. If you'd like, Traveler, you can help...
It isn't nearly as exciting as he...
Master Kaya is right, but seeing the grapes turn into grape juice...
Wait, so Diluc...
Oh, goodness, no.
Oh? And just...
Well, you know, come nightfall, he's always out there...
Connor...
Oh, so Master Kaya, how do you like your drink? I remember you weren't very interested in wine.
That was because the adults said children weren't allowed even a...
Ah, yes.
But on a serious note... Having grown up at a wine, even though I couldn't help with making how could anyone... So, let us raise a glass to wine itself.
Here, here.
Speaking of wine, Connor, I have a gift for you.
I get a present too? Thank you, Master. Time really does fly. Now, I have wrinkles and Tunner's bent double. Well, Master...
How is Tunner holding up?
He's still tough, but getting on in years, so some things just aren't as easy as they were. A lot of the temporary workers I hired... Master Kaya, if you have time, why not go talk to him?
I definitely owe him a visit. I haven't seen him. Busy day today, Tunner?
Oh, Master Kaya, you're back. They're growing wonderfully this year. Sit.
No need. We were just drinking with
What about your friend? Doesn't she want to...
Allow me to introduce the...
the honorary...
Harvesting grapes is... Do you still remember how I used...
I believe What's this? Come with me, young lass. Ooh, you have nimble hands, lassie. Master Kaya wasn't nearly so careful when he was young. He mangled so many his first time. What a waste. Fortunately, the young master has a good head on his shoulders. Didn't take long for him to get up to speed. And now he's turned into such an outstanding young man, polite and kind. If I had a son as exceptional as Kaya, oh, I would be the happiest man in Mondstadt.
Oh.
There's a few more rows of grapes up ahead. Let's finish picking them together. Careful not to damage the grapes when you pinch the stem.
Winery rules state that
あと1個どこだ?
These grapes look excellent. I'll take them. Good job. Master Kaya left the winery and moved. I don't know him like Miss. And without, I've been working here for decades. But I can see that you have a good relationship with Master Kaya. Hearing that puts my mind at ease. Wonderful.
You're looking very happy, Tunner.
No, Joe. Master Kaya.
Of course.
これはあれか。休むルートの方か。これでラストだな。さすがに全員分やってたら10時間とか平気できそう。こんだけサボってたってことなんだけど。デートイベント思ったよりも長いな。
Look, Mondstadt's windmill. Now, as prompt, according to the merchants love. I know you like rare things, so you're welcome. I'm ready to head in. I could give everyone their souvenirs. Maybe I'll take a breather first. But I know I'll only get bored sitting in my... I'm honored to have... Let's go to the plaza in front of the cathedral. After so long in Sumeru, there's no rush. Port Ormos is always lively, even late into the night. People there go to bed much later than I imagined. Quite a stark contrast with Mondstadt. People pray and play music in the cathedral plaza during the day. Good question. Life in Sumeru is never dull. Last time I was out although I did learn later that they taught me a lot of songs that they usually sing. Simple, honest folks like me, we don't need much. Fair enough. Let's shelve that discussion for now. Well, let's see if we can catch them today. Excuse me, Sister Grace. Does the church choir have any performances coming up soon?
Oh, I'm so sorry. The hymn concert we previously...
Oh?
As you probably know, Captain Kaya.
Yes. I heard about that.
Yes, exactly. Well, but for some reason, the rehearsals are going... Oh, maybe I'm just not musically gifted enough to give them... Captain Kaya.
Me? Music...
Thank you so much, Captain Kaya.
I'm sure you've figured out who this expert is already. He has the best singing voice of any poet in Mondstadt, and understands poetry better than any other singer. Plus, he's exceptionally easy to find. 9 out of 10 times, he's in the tavern. Good day. Drinking alone? I hope you don't mind us joining you.
Hello, hello! Please, take a seat.
Patton, one moonlit alley and an apple cider.
Ooh, excellent choices. Come on, let's have a toast and drain our glasses together. Here's to the time—
Ever the poet, Professor Venti. Any new songs of yours we could listen to? There's a real dearth of quality. Speaking of which—
Of course! Though the format is—
So you'd say you enjoy listening?
Let me think.
Passion and joy, huh?
Oh?
Think about it. It's only because of his— It must be quite sad.
Yes, well, that's a beautiful— In principle, the hymns of the cathedral are dedicated to a god— Huh? Ugh, she might be asking a bit too much. To be honest, if they have a natural talent for me— Besides, he is the god of—
Well, to each their own, I say.
More drinks?
Uh-oh. I only brought—
Another bottle of apple cider for Venti, please, Patton.
Wow! Thanks, Kaya. You are one of the finest students with the aid of—
Then this is probably the Sister Grace is a devout follower.
Don't worry. Just wait a moment. The next time you visit her, our—
Hello, Sister Grace.
Captain Kaya. Fanciful in the sense of everyone in the choir loves suddenly asking them to sing in So, why ask them to adjust to—
Church choirs typically stick to What's stopping you from
While I don't expect a recent—
Is the Church of Favonius real? So Venti.
Of course! This would—
Okay, well, let's see what our other friend thinks. Traveler, what are your— Another vote of confidence. Looks like we're all in favor then. So
Of course. Should we find some people to help us compose the lyrics?
Good idea. Let's split up and find some contributors. Let me think. Sister Grace, how—
Given that the idea—
Perfect.
こっちのシナリオも思ってる長い。
The wind rises.
いや、ボリュームある方がいいんだけど。
Let the wind lead. Traveler, it's been a long time. Please, don't— Oh, the hymns we know, but as long as I never imagined that the bard would come up with such an amazing— Sure.
Squall and fury. Ah, you're here.
You took your sweet time. Psh, I've seen Kaya play Genius Invocation. Can we really write it? And is the choir really gonna perform it publicly?
I don't think anything.
Then
I'm used to just humming to myself while I work. So after Sister Grace criticized us for not singing in harmony, I never thought we'd be able to just—
Plus, we get to write a song with Sister—
Thank you, everyone. I agree. That's Kaya for you.
Ooh, well then.
Of course you— I think—
Let us praise Mon—
See? Already we have—
Quit following me. What are you doing here? Didn't want to participate. I just wanted to take you to hear a The rehearsals are now back on track. I'd rather it didn't come to that. My songwriting abilities are limited. If doing nothing but loitering on the plaza enjoying the scenery all day is... But that would get boring after a while. Besides, can you be...
Oh! We're ready to review and discuss it.
I still recall the teachings of Professor Venti. With so many that's what a song of worship...
And that's the reason you've decided to leave?
Slipping away before the final verse is sung? Before the... Oh no.
Wow, But to share all this with a group of friends, only if you don't want to write a poem. The swift currents, majestic waves, the stars in my... If you were a chaser of freedom...
A boat that has come unmoored will not get lost in the...
Of course, you don't have to believe in it.
Well, after a fine...
Too slow.
終わった。よし。1個分も溜まってないけど、まあいいか。ということで、今日の配信はここまで。